You are watching Channel Adrian TV.
Let's go ahead to the police body cam video. It says, police discover a killer's hidden torture force. And just before I even start this video, it's stuff like this that's eerie because that people are not only capable of this, but we walk around these type of people every single day. That's why a lot of times, well, number one, I don't go running by the woods at nighttime. In other words, there are certain things I will never do because there are a lot of weirdos and sickos out there, especially in stranded areas. I try to make sure I stay away from, but let's get into the video.
Oh shit. SO389 dispatch. I've located the body. The scene's about 50 yards on a trail.
That's crazy.
This lone cop just discovered a dead body in the middle of the woods.
What is that? Sounds like it's heading this way. I hear something nice. Body. Carving blood.
Hey.
10-4, signal 7. Please send another unit to my location.
What he doesn't know yet is that the lifeless man in front of him has been tortured for hours by the twisted man hiding in this very forest.
And that's crazy because you don't know how many people he's done that to. And like I said, that's deeper in the forest. So obviously he had to lure them in or kidnap people. It's scary, man. That's why, like, men and women, when you're going places, be careful. When you're in a new city, be careful. Learn your surroundings. Don't look like a tourist. In certain cities, I won't take a Uber past a certain time, especially if you're by yourself, because you don't know what's going to happen. And you see how this world is. There's a lot of crazy people. So when I watch things like this, it's honestly, it just more of a reminder to myself that you always got to keep your head on a swivel. And I know I don't want to scare people, but it's just the truth of the matter.
Whoever did that, that's Frank. The little eyeball right here? That's some creepy shit right here. You smell this, right? You don't smell gas right here? Yeah.
Dang.
Torture? I'm not sure what it is, but I've got movement east of my location in the woods. There's something moving around back this way.
He carries 3 or 4 knives on him. He thinks he's random.
You're what?
I'm just like a god.
Yeah, and it's like I said about that the other day, man. When you get a vibe from people that they're like weird or weirdos, I leave them alone. We all know who, when we were in high school, that one kind of weird kid, regardless if they were a man or a woman, that were a little bit off, and you just left them alone because you knew they had some screws loose. Yeah, that stay away from those people and be nice, and just honestly, when they walk, just go the other way or walk by you.
It's December 23rd, 2022, and Officer Azure has just received a 911 call from a distraught man reporting that he's found his best friend's lifeless body in the middle of the Lake Jackson forest.
Dang.
Officer Azure, along with a group of first responders, quickly arrive at the scene.
But how did he find the body, though? What made him want to go in there?
Here they encounter Jamie, the 911 caller, and his best friend Robert, both of whom urgently want to show the officer where their dead friend is. Considering the serious circumstances, Officer Azure decides to follow Robert into the forest despite being alone.
But my thing is, what made him walk in the forest by himself to find his friend, and how did he get, like, my bad, y'all, for talking over that, but how did he get that hunch to go look in the forest? That would be the first thing I would be thinking if I'm that cop. I'm like, okay, just saying to myself, I wouldn't necessarily say it out loud, like, what possessed you to go look in the forest and find your friend, especially like at this time of the day, at night? Because I'm pretty sure as soon as you saw the body, you called the police, but it's nighttime. So what made you think to even do something like that?
56 for the advance in the back. I'm headed down to the scene. We're going to go back that way about 50 yards. Okay. 50 yards. My walker was good. Yeah. Knife was laying on the ground. There's no blood on it. Did you touch the knife? I did pick up the knife. Okay. Well, we're gonna need to get fingerprints from you. Okay.
No problem. I walked by the tarp, and you couldn't see James.
Okay.
And then Alan walked by the tarp and goes, "What's that?" And he picked the tarp up with his stickies on his hand, and James was laying there face down, and I got the knife and we left.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna need to.
I would have picked up that knife, y'all.
From you, okay? Just because.
I would have took a picture of it, video evidence, but I'm not touching that in my hands.
Anything, but you have to be ruled out. You see what I'm saying?
At this point, the officer can't yet confirm Robert's story, but with a dead body reported, he has no choice but to push deeper into the woods. Now,
And see, that's what the police officer trying to figure out. He said, we have to rule you out. That's why I was like, yeah, if I was that cop in that situation, my senses would be on high alert. Not to where on high alert to where I'm acting crazy and super annoyed, but I would just be very mindful of what he's saying.
alone with a suspicious man he's just met and a killer who could be lurking nearby, the officer knows he must proceed with extreme caution.
Especially by yourself.
You just hang on down right here for me, okay? Let me get up there and take a look. What's wrong?
Right here, please.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And then, can you please look in that back stand, please?
All right. Where's the knife?
The knife is on the left-hand side of him.
Okay.
There on the ground. He's got a white belt.
Okay. Just hang out there for me, okay?
That's got to be an eerie feeling by yourself in the woods like that.
Jamie was telling the truth. Wrapped inside the tarp is the body of James Ladendecker. He's lying naked in a pool of his own blood, covered in cuts and scrapes. Realizing the severity of the situation, Officer Azure immediately instructs Jamie to head back while he investigates further. That's when Officer Azure begins to hear some unsettling noises.
What would y'all do if you heard those noises? Would you go closer to the noise, call for backup? Now, me personally, I would just try to pinpoint where the noise is and wait for backup. I'm not going to anything blind, just chasing noise when it's pitch black dark like that. And if that guy's already killed somebody, as you see from the tarp, he'll be more than willing. He's more than willing and able to take me out too.
I'm not sure if it's a person. I'm not sure what it is, but I've got movement east of my location in the woods. Sounds like it's heading this way.
And I remember some of our friends, even when we were young,
Hey, LT.
would say, let's go to the woods at night. I'm like, hell no.
Backup arrived just in time, providing some relief from whatever might have been lurking in the forest.
Yep.
There's nothing for y'all to check. He's cold to the touch. All right, we got knife right here, body here, tents, whole camp spread up back here. We've also got one outstanding. There's 2 people who live in this camp.
And one's not here?
And one's outstanding at the moment.
Did you find the knife?
Yeah.
I got a knife right
Yeah,
here.
she said, well, she's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, there's something right there. But, hey, do you still got those 2 guys 10-12 up front?
Yeah, they're standing there waiting for us.
Good, because one that led me back touched the knife. So we need to get his prints and a statement off him. The other one touched the tarp. They found out what was going on and they took off.
Yeah, FYI, y'all, I hope y'all are never in this situation. But never tamper the evidence. I wouldn't have touched, I think they said the tarp or the tent. I wouldn't have touched the knife like Robert did. See that? Pictures, record, call the authorities. Do not tamper with the evidence. Do not touch it.
I checked the camp, and he's the only one back here.
I got the name of the person that he was arguing with at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so, and I've got what looks like maybe his clothes right over there. So, he's naked, and there's some clothes right there on the fire.
As medical staff
Probably tried to
arrives
burn
and
it.
examines the body more closely, they observe a brutal manner of death. blunt force trauma to the head, strangulation, and something even more disturbing, gasoline, found in James's lungs and stomach.
Yeah, it's burn 'em.
Detectives are left with a burning question. Why would a victim have gasoline inside him? However, this would be only one of the many disturbing details officers uncover at the scene.
Hey, Seth, take a look at this for me. What is that? Is that just soot weared off on that, or? I mean, it looks awful shiny.
Where he has been stabbed, just from what I can see. But he is butt naked, face down on the tarp with his upper torso covered, so definitely not. And definitely somebody putting him here. So I don't know what his face looks like. If he was stabbed in the neck or the face, the blood may be hidden by the tarp. I'm not seeing any obvious blood. Apparently the witness picked up the knife, and the knife has like a erosion string around it. There's blood on it. Yeah, the tarp's brown, but there's blood all over the tarp, like blood splatter.
It looks like, I mean, he was moved post-mortem. You can tell by the way he was dressed.
Oh, he's got his fucking leaf in his ass, right?
Yeah.
That's hollow down below, you see that?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Almost looks like they're carving Odin. This in the one eye. You see that?
Fucking nuts.
Artistic.
Oh, yeah.
And I paused it perfect right there. It seems to be a face. Like if you look, let me see with the mouse. Come on, mouse. Come on, mouse. Come on, mouse. Come on. Like, okay, there we go. You see the nose right there, mustache, eyes, face. Oh yeah, the whole face, beard. Creepy stuff, man. Creepy stuff.
The chainsaw, right? And it looks like. Yeah.
By now, officers were certain they had a murder on their hands. The injuries to the body, the bloody knife, and the presence of gasoline all point to one thing. This wasn't just a killing, but a calculated act where the victim had likely been tortured for hours. With this in mind, officers would return to question Jamie, the man who had originally called 911, and what Jamie reveals would soon lead investigators directly to the killer. But before we continue, it's worth noting that tragedies like these could affect any of us. Take Yvette Torres. She was walking...
Oh, that's why I'm glad I got YouTube Premium, y'all.
Crash victim in Florida, 6 million. Seriously, AIDS. Officers were about to speak again.
Yeah.
With that said, let's get back to the investigation.
There we go. Let's get back.
Officers were about to speak again with Jamie, one of the eyewitnesses, and he would provide them with their biggest lead yet.
So I heard arguing and stuff. So I go through the woods, go to this camp.
So you
I go
left.
back to the camp because, you know,
Right.
homeless people argue all the time about dumb shit.
Okay, he said homeless people argue all the time about stupid stuff. Well, I actually said other words, but yeah, I don't want to curse and because of YouTube, and I put this video everywhere on Facebook as well. But okay, so they were homeless, or he was homeless, I'm assuming, because he did say homeless people argue all the time. So he heard an argument, and that's what made him go into the woods.
Wow, now, and I haven't heard anything from James or anybody over there. So I go over there to me and my friend that's with Officer now. Go over there, right? So when I walk, get to a certain point, I see a tarp laying there beside this tree, which is never there.
And inside
the
is...
tarp is, I don't even know if it's James or...
Alright, well we're gonna get it figured out, okay? Do you know James' last name?
Do
you know James' last name?
No, ma'am.
No.
I'm talking about the person who did this,
36
because I know who it is. Justin McDonald. That lives right up. He just got the complaint this morning. Man come down there with a hatchet, threatening, chopping shit up. Called it in, sheriff's department. They come over, they talked to him, they told him that they're gonna go over and talk to him and just stay away.
And James is the one who called.
Oh, man.
Who called this morning? Rick. Okay. Do you know
Rick
Rick's
is
last
the one
name?
who stays there.
Okay, so I'm assuming Rick was the one who was homeless, and maybe the one, yeah, and he said staying in that camp area. So from what I gather from his story now, I think that's the correlation.
Oh man, but Rick is the one who stays there. James is a friend of everybody's, but he was staying up there with Dusty.
According to Jamie, a man named Dusty McDonald had attacked another man, Rick, with a hatchet earlier that day. Police were called, but were unable to locate or confront Dusty at the time. While this incident was concerning, it wasn't enough on its own to establish Dusty as a primary suspect. Until nearly every witness interviewed pointed to him as well. Eventually, officers had gathered enough statements to justify bringing Dusty in for questioning. All they needed now was to find him. As police began searching for Dusty, other officers on scene would sit down with the two 911 callers to piece together a timeline. According to them, the day had started with unsettling signs that something was off.
We both went down there. We live right here. We wanted to go check on our friend. He's wrapped up in the tarp.
Okay.
We came back
I heard arguing earlier, right?
We know who was down there, sir.
Arguing.
Okay.
So I walked down. There it was. I seen Dusty have James on the ground. He was saying, you shouldn't talk shit about this, that. You know what I'm saying? I heard, like, oh, they just get it.
But I wonder why the confrontation happened. Because I'm getting the story and piecing it all together, but I'm wondering, why did Dusty get in an argument with that man in the first place? Or was he just angry and upset with rage from something else? He was just on the bender to lash out on anybody.
You know, but I never hear nothing from over there no more. I'm like,
You know Dusty's real name or?
Dusty McDonald.
Did you say that James called them today and said, hey,
No, Rick.
oh, Rick called.
Rick.
And said,
James was there.
when Dusty went over there and cut his tap with
Cut
a
him up,
machete?
threatened with a machete,
Yeah.
cut his tin up,
Yep.
all kind of shit.
They called the police. I was there
Yep,
for that. I
called
was there for
police,
that.
made a report, and the police just said, stay away from him. There's a tarp laying beside a tree that's never there, because I live here, and I took the stick and went. When I flipped it up, I seen legs.
Based on these witness accounts, officers now have a fairly detailed picture of what likely unfolded just hours earlier. They also have a lead suspect, Dusty McDonald, a name one of the officers happened to be familiar with.
All right, I think they already brought up his name, but Dustin McCormick.
Yeah, Dusty.
Dusty,
Yeah,
supposedly general in some militia, come down there this morning with a machete and started hacking up some of the tents so he wanted to clear the area. Said he's sigma 20 and off his meds.
They said Dusty. They said Dusty's the one that's outstanding.
Yeah, they said this guy Dusty left from over here like later in the evening.
By now, it was clear Dusty had likely been involved in the murder, and with Jimmy and Robert's statements in hand, police began piecing together the sequence of events leading up to the brutal killing. Earlier that day, Rick, another man who lived at the camps, had called 911 claiming a Dusty McDonald had slashed his tent with a machete while searching for a man named James, even threatening him in the process. Later that afternoon, Dusty managed to find James, and witnesses reported hearing arguing from the camp. When they checked to see what was going on, they saw Dusty on top of James, wrestling and yelling. It didn't appear to be anything more than a heated argument, so they returned to their camp. However, hours would pass, and nobody had heard from James. Robert and Jamie began to worry and decided to go looking for him, and that's when they found a blue tarp covering James's lifeless body.
Okay, makes sense.
Nearly all witness accounts lined up perfectly with this timeline of events, making the next step for officers clear: arrest Dusty and bring him in for interrogation.
Yeah, about to say, I want to see why they were fighting.
Fortunately, since officers had begun the work of locating him earlier that day, they already had Dusty's address. Soon after, they surrounded the house, ready to move in.
Sheriff Office, put a knife down, man. Come on out. Come on out. Come on out.
I don't have anything in my hands.
Come on.
Please, I don't
Come
have
on.
anything in my hands.
Come on out.
I'm right here, sir.
Come on out.
Dude, I'm right here.
Dusty.
Okay.
Dude, yes.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Dude, the man just tried to light me on fire, dude. Y'all know what happened down there. That man tried to light me on fire, man. It's all on surveillance, dude.
Listen, Dusty, try to do things stupid. The dog's gonna bite you, understand?
No, I'm not even on, dude. Look at there. I'm not armed at all, sir. Sir, I ain't just left my house.
Now, he said the guy tried to burn him. James, I'm assuming.
Dusty's behavior would be bizarre from the start,
Yeah.
immediately insisting that James tried to set him on fire and that the officers, quote, already know what happened down there. Whether he's trying to claim self-defense or is just completely unhinged is anyone's guess.
Still not smart either way.
Know what happened down there. That's what we're trying to figure out. Dude, the man tried to light me on fire as I kind of...
Okay, listen.
Okay.
We've got one side. Okay. That's why you need to come with us. Okay? I know you are.
With the supposed killer in custody, officers concluded the disturbing on-scene investigation and began preparing for interrogation. If Dusty was their killer, given what had been done to the victim's body, it pointed to someone deeply disturbed. That suspicion would soon be confirmed. By now, Dusty had already raised serious concerns. He had slashed Rick's tent.
That's
and
crazy,
threatened
man.
him.
People
On top
crazy,
of that,
y'all.
Multiple witnesses had just reported seeing him argue with James hours before the murder. However, despite how clear things seemed, there was one major complication. Dusty was claiming self-defense. He alleged that James...
And question, y'all, do y'all go camping? I'm not gonna lie, I've seen too many scary movies. That's why, me personally, I wouldn't go camping. People have invited me. I'm like, nah, I don't mind being, well, honestly, depending on what kind of campsite it is, I don't mind being in the forest in the daytime, but right before the sun sets, I'm out of there. That's just not me. If I want to go outdoors, I'll go hoop outside or go run outside. I don't need to be in the wilderness like that.
thrown gasoline on him and threatened to set him on fire. This wasn't a claim detectives could easily dismiss, especially given the distinct smell of gasoline at the scene, meaning there was a possibility he could get away with his crime. Even though it's clear who's behind the murder at this point, Dusty's story now carries a shred of credibility. Detectives have one goal: to break that story, either by disproving his self-defense claim using witness statements, or, ideally, by
get a
getting
confession.
Either way, the investigation is about to get a lot more complicated. To move forward, detectives start by bringing in people from the encampment who knew Dusty well and interacted with him regularly. If Dusty had a pattern of violent behavior, these individuals were the most likely to have seen it firsthand.
My goal here is to kind of get, from your perspective, kind of what you saw, what you heard.
He ain't really been fucking with me at all. I ain't never had no cross words. He's always insistent, oh, come up there and do your laundry and all that shit, you know. Come up there and get a shower, that's what it was. Come and get a shower, come get a shower all the time. So I fucked up and got a shower and get him $2 afterwards, you know, just a gesture.
Rick explains that Dusty often offered showers and laundry to homeless individuals in the area, sometimes charging a small fee.
Okay, so yeah, him and James were, that's why they stayed in the tent, because as they mentioned, they were homeless. So the reason I'm tying that in, because that's where the showers come into play. He said he would let me come to his house, Dusty's house, to take a shower, or would say he would let them. And that man said he took a shower, gave him $2.
This catches the attention of detectives. These seemingly generous acts may be a part of a larger pattern of manipulation.
Yeah, to try to get close to him.
Assert control over the homeless community. It's a detail that could support their efforts to build a stronger case against him.
I tried my best to get along with him. And, you know, he had a shower that we all used, you know, sometimes try to keep him good with him for those reasons and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
Never, my wildest dreams that I think he was capable of murdering, that's honest truth. I was just over there basically using his necessities like we all were when we got a chance to, you know, in the shower, usually offered it.
Which is odd, because you don't see people normally offer strangers a place to shower. Now, they may offer them like help to lead them to a homeless shelter, but not a shower at their own spot. So he could have maybe possibly did it, like they said in the video, to get close to them and maybe lure them to unfortunately unalive them, because y'all have to say unalive because on YouTube and Facebook. But yeah, people are capable of some sick stuff in this world.
Way of making friends with us, I think. I had stayed with him before and he kicked me out. I thought I was in a light and I was taking pictures of him and stuff like that with my phone. I didn't even have a phone. Man. Like, I saw you taking pictures of me with your phone. I said, I don't even have a phone. He said, you gotta go. I left. That.
Dusty lives in a house near the homeless camps, a property owned by his grandfather. At first, much like Rick, BuzzFeed describes Dusty as someone who seems generous, allowing members of the homeless camp to use his home for basic amenities. As investigators continue interviewing members of the homeless community, a more troubling picture of Dusty begins to emerge. He has a history of strange and violent behavior marked by paranoia and delusions. However, officers face a challenge. The interviews so far have been too vague, highlighting patterns of behavior but lacking concrete details to build
Do something violent,
case. This leads detectives back to Jamie, the original 911 caller and the person with the clearest recollection of events so far. And he's able to offer meaningful insight into who Dusty really is.
Mr. Owen, my role here in all this, it's just kind of to get from your perspective, your side of things, what you saw, what you observed.
Man came to my camp last night. I used to stay up there with him. He's a violent person.
Okay.
And his papa always wanted to let me stay there because he's the one that owns the property. The reason I don't stay there is because
of he there.
What he says, and he gets all angry and threatens you, and he just crazy shit. I said, well,
What does he usually carry?
he had a stick this time, but he's either got a stick, a machete, or a knife. He carries like 3 or 4 knives on him, machete, sticks. It's like he thinks he's Rambo.
Yeah, no. Believe it or not, I've seen people. Now I can understand if you carry a knife, like say if you work in a motor pool with a lot of vehicles or some type of hardware or outdoors to where you do need a knife. But believe it or not, I've met people who have carried multiple knives, and I always say to myself, like, what's the point to have multiple? I understand if you need one, but me personally, I don't walk around carrying a knife. But let's say if you do carry a knife, it's nothing weird or odd about that. But I've always thought to myself, like, why do you have so many knives? Because I've seen people like that.
While Dusty had a reputation as a bully who routinely harassed the homeless community, no one expected his behavior to escalate to cold-blooded murder. His so-called generosity, offering his home for showers and laundry, masked a deeper need for control and manipulation. The same people he claimed to help were also the ones he intimidated and threatened, revealing a warped sense of power and superiority. In the end, this contradiction may have set the stage for the gruesome murder. When Dusty was brought in for questioning, his demeanor was strangely calm. At this point, he seems to believe that he is seen as a victim of an attack by this homeless man. He didn't seem like he was in his right mind at all. Detectives were hoping to learn about Dusty's side of the story, but instead were met
see him
with,
fidgeting.
well, a lot of nonsense.
You know I'm an owl, right? You're what? You know I'm an owl, right? Okay. You know what that means, right? Yes, sir, I do. Okay, thank you. Thank you. This has been a really hard day. Sir, I waved all right a long time ago. I still have a great sense of innocence within me. If it ain't obvious to you this time.
Throughout his interrogation, Dusty's responses are filled with incoherent delusions and deflections. In Dusty's mind, he's, quote, an owl, constantly watched, monitored, and under surveillance. It's clear that without his medication, his schizophrenia is spiraling out of control.
And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it is because of his medicine. This is why when you see people off their medication, this is why a lot of their loved ones, doctors become so angry at them. Now, hopefully I'm not condoning what he did, but that's why those medicines are in place. That's why you need to that's why, in my personal opinion, people with those type of issues, I don't want to say they need to be in 24-hour care, but they need to be with someone that's going to be willing to look over them, because if you're not if you not having your meds is causing you to lose your mind and then get into schizophrenia and other things, you're not only an issue and a problem for yourself, you're an issue and a problem to people around you.
I'm handling it remarkably well. If Jesus, man, that was some crazy shit, and to still be able to get us some usable intel, you know, they'll get why staying at that place is so dangerous for me. I know a lot of trust is getting to me for like that, but man, thank you for saying you'll be able to talk about this.
Dusty seems to believe he's outsmarted the cops, thinking he's there to provide valuable intel as the victim. But he will soon find out that he's actually a suspect in the cold-blooded murder of an innocent man.
I haven't shed a tear all day, you know, I've been going hard, you know. I'm so exhausted. How long have you been doing it? What, this kind of work? Not very long. That was my first. I think everybody knows that. From the get-go. You know, thank you for this deep psychological diagnosis for it. It's helped them a lot. Good.
Listening closely to Dusty's words, it seems as if he's openly admitting to the murder. Although his statement is scattered and unclear, it gives detectives the impression that he's acknowledging responsibility without fully grasping the seriousness of his actions. But
see, like, people like that, you could tell from how he's speaking, you could tell he's off. And like I said, I don't know if it's because he's not taking his meds, but like the narrator is saying, he's not speaking clear. Well, he's speaking clearly, but his thoughts and what he's trying to express is not making any sense. It's just like he's just like talking, especially when you should be making sense, when obviously they're trying to pin the murder on you. If you didn't do it, you would be doing anything in your power to try to tell them, hey, I didn't do this. And he's talking about intel. He's talking about thank you for the analyzing part. Like, he's talking about stuff that shouldn't even matter right now. Because if that was me, I'd be like, look, I didn't murder no one. I was here. I was doing this. You know what I mean?
Dusty's bizarre admissions wouldn't stop there as he continues rambling incoherently.
See?
And then he drives the gasoline on me, because you saw how I was rolled up and down there. Dude, I thought I was just doing it for the other. You know what I mean? Because that was my intention. Everybody knows that. I didn't manage to hit that DOUI and come out like that. I don't know how I do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, when I'm just experimenting in the house with blades, like before back when I took the butcher knives and threw it in curved, but I mean, I don't know how to do it. So I just know with my beautiful mind that I'm just, it's a three-way. Yeah. You know, it's the photographic, the audiogenic intake, and then the logogenetic. Yeah. You know, I if y'all don't ever think I'm so.
What is he talking about? The photogenic, boy, yeah. I told you, y'all, men and women, especially if you're watching this and you're in high school, people who off like this, stay away from them and leave them alone. Be polite. Of course, you don't need, well, you shouldn't have to be rude to anyone, but people that's off like this, leave them alone. Don't pick on them.
That I'm just like a god. Man, I never thought it would be something like that, but my God, what that thing was.
While Dusty's ramblings could be interpreted as an admission that James was his first murder, the statement is buried in a mix of delusions about retinoids, his photographic memory, and other incoherent claims. The detective picks up on this and pushes further, trying to separate fact from fiction in Dusty's fractured account.
For me to verify everything that I can see elsewhere, I'm trying to I know you're not mad at me. That's just, I don't want you to think I'm asking questions.
I think my personality is, I can't talk to people.
I do.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to think I'm being that certain.
I am very relieved that we were having this conversation.
Dusty claims he's not mad and that people don't understand how he communicates. This shows he might have a twisted view of himself, possibly because of paranoia, delusions, or mental illness. What's strange is how calm and relieved Dusty seems.
Yeah.
Most guilty people would be nervous or scared during an interrogation.
They're saying
Dusty is
that with
different. He seems to still believe
having a
he's the
body
victim
put on
who
you is
doesn't
crazy.
grasp the seriousness of his actions. Instead of taking responsibility, he thinks people just don't understand him. This becomes even clearer when Dusty asks one final question to the detective.
Will I be able to go home?
I'm going to figure that out.
Yeah, because or am I going to jail or we're going down to dance?
We're going to have to figure it out.
Bro, you ain't gonna be able to go home, man.
I'm going to come talk to you about it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go
After
home.
this bizarre exchange, the detective had heard enough to know it was time to wrap up the interrogation. Dusty's lack of remorse and distorted grip on reality made it clear they were dealing with someone who didn't fully understand the weight of his actions. According to the pathology report, the victim, James Leidendecker, was subjected to horrific torture before his death. His body showed severe blunt force trauma, including cuts, bruises, and fractures to his face, nose, ears, and mouth. His eyes had severe bleeding, and many of his teeth were broken. The injuries also extended to his neck, with heavy bleeding in the muscles and a broken hyoid bone, suggesting he had been
Strangled to death, yeah. So, when you see all of those findings, the blunt force neck trauma, the fracture, when you see all those things, it wouldn't be self-defense, because most people, when they're doing self-defense, they're fighting to get away. But from all of these findings, it sounds like he kept beating him.
So displayed several broken ribs, and internal bleeding was found in his chest and abdomen. One of the most disturbing details from the report was that James had been exposed to gasoline. His skin had begun to slough off in areas, and a strong smell of gasoline was found on his arms, thighs, and hands. Gasoline was also detected in his lungs and stomach, indicating he had inhaled and swallowed it before he died. This made the murder even more gruesome.
Yeah.
Dusty was processed for forensic evidence and transported to the Leon County Detention Facility. The witness statements, his vague confession, and the forensic evidence from the scene were enough to formally charge him. Dusty McDonald was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, and as of this video's upload, his case remains ongoing.
And y'all, keep in mind, disclaimer, everybody is presumed innocent until proven guilty. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes. And when I seen the entertainment part, just showing, like I said, I do a wide range of videos, relationships, sports, sneaker reviews, and also I do police body cams and crime things like this. And I don't think these type of things are funny, but excuse me, y'all. But the reason I do watch these things is, like I said, it keeps my senses up. It kind of makes sure that I always keep my head on a swivel. I pay attention how people move in certain surroundings. Not only do I do that, I pay attention what people say, body language, how they view you when they're talking to you, tone. I look at all of those things because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know if people are crazy. You don't know if people are unhinged and wanting to do something to anybody. So you always got to stay on your P's and Q's. And I hate to say that because, like I said, I don't want to scare y'all in this world, but that's just the truth of the matter. And y'all, right now we're at 50 minutes. And like I said, I'm at least gonna be on here for an hour. So let's go ahead and. But let me go back to. Come on. Where was I? No, where was that? Okay, bet. Yeah, let's. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to keep Luke on the screen because to kind of clear up the mood on, I'm just going to talk to y'all a little bit for like the last 10-15 minutes. Disturbing video to say the least. But I'm still gonna do multiple videos. Like I said, it's not gonna be police body cam, police body cam, police body cam. It's just that like I said, I'll take a subject and do it, and I'll switch every single day of the week. Next video I'll probably live stream probably will deal with relationship dynamics between men and women. You know, one of my favorite subjects, because I think it's something that all men and women can learn from. I think a lot of videos I do, all men and women can learn from. If you have an open mind and actually viewing the content to learn like I do, because some people may say, why do you watch this? It's not very entertaining. No, it's really just to learn, really, to be honest with you. And then I watch it and I'm like, you know what? I think that'll be dope to react to my subscribers and my supporters, because like I don't want to be just so on sneakers and working out, but like I said, I'm also into money, I'm also into these crimes, I'm also into pop culture, the dynamics between men and women, because understanding work relationships, everything, like I said, I'm literally into everything, because the more I think you learn about life and become more cultured and well-rounded, it's only going to help you. And for the Sunday service, because since I need these hours, I need to have at least 30 hours, I'm probably going to live stream that too. Now, the thing is, I record it so early, I'm pretty sure someone probably will be up, but I probably will still live stream it, because like I said, I need these hours, so I need to hit 30 before the end of this month. So I'm going to live stream the Sunday service. And then after, when I get off tomorrow, because I do have to work, I definitely will get a stream going. Again, I'll have some more reaction videos, but tomorrow we'll deal more with relationships, and I'll have like a few videos lined up, because like I said, I'm always want to at least stream for an hour. What else I want to say? Yeah, and I'll have all these events lined up. Now, once I hit the 30 threshold and I pass the partnership with Rumble and become monetized, I'm not going to stream every single day. Well, you know what? I might stream every single day like this, but it won't be like an hour long. Maybe like 8 minutes to 30 minutes, because for me personally, it's no point to stream for 2 to 3 hours when I don't have 2 to 3 hours of content to give, or you know what I mean? I don't want to force it. That's why if I'm looking at this time, I'm pretty sure going to stop this at an hour, because if I was to try to go to an hour and 30 and I don't have other videos set up, well, I got other videos saved, but I didn't organize it like I had stuff earlier. It's no point for y'all. And like I said, I don't want to waste y'all time. So, and what else? Okay, I talked about the Sunday service. And so, yeah, what I'll do tomorrow is I'll do the Sunday service in the morning. If you don't see it, it will be ready for y'all when you wake up to go look at it, because when the NFL season starts, I normally try to have it out before the NFL morning broadcast with Michael Irvin and them on the NFL Network, and then ESPN does their NFL program before kickoff. So my goal always is to try to have it up by at least 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, because most people and most shows start around 10:30ish, 11 for their NFL program shows for that Sunday. So I'll definitely have it up by then. As I say, y'all, I go through a lot of water. What else? Oh yeah, since we're speaking on NFL, I plan to go to a few games, because I know I've been saying this a lot, that the Falcons game I did go to versus the Chiefs, which was a great game, and you could find that video on Rumble, on my YouTube as well, and I'll make sure to leave a video link to that in the description if you did want to watch that game. It was a great game, and it went all the way to the last play where Kansas City did stop them on the 4th and 3, I think, in the red zone. So it was definitely a good game. But the games I'm going to go see this year are I want to go see the Commanders versus Falcons. I want to see the Bills versus Falcons, and hopefully I want to see Miami versus Falcons as well, the Dolphins. But hopefully Tua and Tyreek and Jaden Waddle, they could be healthy, because it'll be a high scoring game, and those are the best games to go to. Okay, y'all, we got 5 minutes left. So what else should I tell y'all? We did football. I did talk about Hard Knocks. What else? Oh yeah. I still need to do the Air Jordan 6 Olympics sneaker review, and I need to get that out. And sneaker reviews will not be done live stream. I may do an early look before I do the actual on feet review, because I like it better when I can edit certain things. So I won't be streaming those. What else I need? I'm gonna start doing some dinners with y'all. So just talking about my day, eating dinner, stuff like that. So those streams will be a little bit shorter, maybe like 15 or 20 minutes, but just adding, in other words, just adding more content so I can't hit those 30 hours. But it's things I've always wanted to do. But with knowing how I'm this close on Rumble to get monetized, I might as well record it and talk to y'all, because I need to hit those hours anyway. Okay, we got 4 minutes left. Honestly, I think I've been on longer than an hour, but y'all, my timer, I started it a little bit late, so yeah. Okay, what else? More, yeah, I'm gonna do dinner videos with y'all. Oh, I can't really stream that, because I do want to start doing some cooking of some of my favorite dishes, but technically I could stream it a little. I might look into that, but that's going to be a lot of work in the kitchen, setting the tripod, but with the lighting. But we could probably make something work. With that. So that's something I look to. Oh, honestly, and y'all keep send me videos, comment on the videos, and let me know if you want me to say react to something. Like I said, I ask Adrian, do anything, because like I said, I appreciate all the support. And then on Rumble, I have almost over 10,000 views. So for all of y'all who watching, just leave me a comment. And oh, that's another thing, I need to do a reacting to comments video. And I know I can stream that, so I will be doing that as well, because I am getting a lot of comments from certain videos and certain shorts, and I could put that all into one. So that's another video. What else? I'm trying to think. Is that pretty much it? Yeah, I think so. For as far as upcoming videos and videos I could do. And I thought about doing street interviews, but for right now, I'm not, because I don't have a cameraman, and I don't want to pay for a cameraman right now to do all that. And if I did street interviews, it wouldn't be very provocative. It'll be very basic questions, to where we can have a conversation with people. Because one thing I've noticed is people can't talk to people, or people lost the art of conversation, because some people think I'm a mute, but when they see me talk to people, or see me talking on YouTube, Rumble, or Facebook, or do a presentation, or talk when I have to, people are surprised that I can hold myself really well when it comes to speaking. And people look at me funny. I'm like, well, I always can speak. It's just that a lot of times I don't see the need to, or if it's a private work setting, I don't talk that much. I just do my work and keep to myself. Oh, and speaking of work, I did run across something today, and I'll probably put it part of the live stream tomorrow, of something I want to talk about. And I'm just gonna leave it vague right now. I'm not gonna go so much into that, but something about work and coworkers I will bring up, because I saw something that someone did post, and it shows a lot of things that I think what is wrong with the world. But I'll get into that tomorrow. And y'all, we got what, 20 seconds left. I just want to say, y'all, I appreciate all the support. I know this video was a little bit gloomy because of the subject matter, but don't worry, tomorrow's going to be more upbeat. It's not going to be so morbid, if you will. But like I said, y'all, you can expect Sunday service tomorrow and another stream. Well, 2 streams, because I'll probably stream that too to hit these hours. But I just want to say, y'all, be safe. Enjoy your weekend. If you're going out, don't drink and drive. If you are, go get you an Uber. Do not drink and drive. Be safe. Be blessed. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. Yep, at an hour. Yeah, have a good day. Good night. Good morning, wherever you're watching this. I will see y'all tomorrow. Come on.